The best team in the world of women's water polo is back in the pool. The defending Olympic champions, Team USA, they're gearing up for their potential third straight gold this summer in Tokyo. They're back in the water after some 450 days without a competition. They welcome Hungary in a 3-game set next on ESPN. Los Angeles, the scene, the water polo stronghold of Commerce, California. Our location tonight for the first of 3 between Team USA and Hungary. The Brenda Villa Aquatics Center plays host, one of the premier facilities in the area, as 2 of the best are about to square off. Hi everyone, welcome poolside here in Commerce, joined by the 2-time Olympic medalist Natalie Benson. Greg Meskel here with you. Natalie, we know the numbers. Team USA, they were away from competition for a long time. No time to be rusty, however. The Olympics are fast approaching.
Right. Opening ceremony's 2 months away, and this team has every opportunity to show who they are come July.
And they'll take on a Hungarian team that has continued to rise up the ranks, 4th overall right now in the world. They'll get to see them in Tokyo without a doubt. They are slotted together in the same grouping. Here's how Group A and Group B looks. So they'll get a little preview of what's to come in Japan.
Preview that's very, very important. It's always important to have games against teams that are within your bracket. Group play is very important to advancing throughout the tournament.
Yeah, it's a must-have to work your way towards perhaps a 3rd gold medal for Team USA. Every athlete has had to adjust to challenging schedules during this COVID-19 pandemic. These water polo teams, no different. Team USA captain Maggie Steffens told us earlier this week how her squad has adjusted to an ever-changing schedule.
Uncertainty is kind of part of being an Olympic athlete in and of itself. You never know if you're going to do well in a game, if your team's going to win, if your shot's going to go in or not. And so being able to experience that in a live sense with COVID and being able to experience that with each other before the Olympic Games kind of allowed us to practice different ways to cope with that. One being accepting uncertainty and another being, using each other to get through that.
You'll meet the rest of Team USA. This is a loaded squad full of stars. The United States taking on Hungary. The first of 3 coming up next, right here on ESPN. Welcome back. Great look at Commerce. Downtown Los Angeles in the distance. Hungary and USA coming up. Shieldy's in the house. USA Water Polo's official mascot. Getting ready for this one between 2 of the best in women's water polo, number 4 against number 1. Number 1, Natalie, is powered by this woman, Maggie Steffens, the best in the world. She's been doing it since 2012.
She's incredible. When people say that she's one of the best, it is not hyperbole. She is literally one of the best in the world. And I remember this kid sitting up in the stands in 2008 watching her sister play, and here she is now. She's an incredible athlete.
And Hungary knows her well. She burst onto the scene as a 19-year-old in London in 2012, dropped 7 goals, tying an Olympic record on Hungary in that first game of those London Olympics. On the way to gold. Across the way, college water polo fans in the U.S. know this name, the former Cal Bear, Anna Ilish.
Yes, affectionately referred to as Nushi by her friends and teammates. Had a great career up at Berkeley, also with her teammate Dora Antal, called Dodo. 2016 Olympian, great player, great person.
And Ilish part of this deep Hungarian attack. Coming up, we'll drop the ball, get the opening sprint rolling, USA and Hungary after this timeout. ESPN's exclusive presentation of USA Women's Water Polo is brought to you by Turbo and Sea Air Federal Credit Union. Welcome back. Team USA and Hungary about to get underway in a USA Women's Water Polo Showcase live from the Brenda Villa Aquatics Center in Commerce, California. As we gear up for this one, let's introduce you to some of the important rules here. If this is the first time you're seeing water polo, welcome to a fast-moving sport. 4 8-minute quarters. It's all deep. Even the goalies, no one is standing in this water. It moves quick, 30-second shot clock. You get a reset on rebounds, 3 personal fouls, and then Natalie, it always jams folks up. There's a lot of whistles. You can ignore some of them.
Right. I think 1 foul is ordinary foul. Those don't accumulate. Three whistles is an exclusion foul. That's where you have to sit in, the equivalent to a penalty box for hockey. 20-second exclusion, you're allowed 3, and then you're removed from the game.
And we'll update you as we go. A look at the recent history. It's been all Team USA as of late. You have to go back to 2014, the last time the United States dropped a contest against the Hungarians. But they have been meeting up in some pivotal competitions. When you're talking about Olympic Games and some of the bigger FINA competitions. And we've heard it all week long. No better training for the Olympics than two of the best going at it.
The Hungarians have such a rich heritage in water polo. It's always going to be a great matchup whenever you play them.
So we're set to get things underway here. Team USA and Hungary, the first of three. Our officials on this one, Amber Drury, Danielle DeBejian. Team USA in the white caps, Hungary in the dark caps, opening sprint balls in the water. And Team USA will get us started. The starting group for the United States, Ashley Johnson, the all-world goalkeeper, joined by Maddie Musselman, Rachel Fatal, Maggie Steffens, who we told you about, Aria Fisher, sister Mackenzie Fisher, and Elise Williams. Here's Team USA on offense for the first time now. Mackenzie Fisher controls on the perimeter as there's a battle in at 2 meters. That's Aria Fisher looking to control. And we'll see an exclusion. So we'll see our first personal foul against Hungary. The power play here for Team USA. Fatal moving in now. They get to work quickly. Steffens is knocked down, now looking for Fatal. Around the way, here's Fisher. Patience from Team USA, working along 2 meters. Quick skip, field block. Big denial there by Hungary, but Team USA will maintain possession. Shot clock goes back to 20. Sides coming even now. Steffens works to Fisher. Exclusion over, doesn't matter. Team USA hits first. Maddie Musselman connects.
Hungarians came out trying to run a zone pretty early in the game, but to no avail. Aria Fisher was able to draw the exclusion, and Musselman was able to put it away.
And that second effort you see in the corner of your screen there, Hungary coming even, but still some confusion on defense.
It's that time period when you're on 5-on-6 is one of the hardest times to navigate, just trying to come even cleanly and make sure you have all your markups.
And there's Maddie Musselman working towards her second Olympic Games out of Newport Beach, California. So Team USA officially, they failed to convert on the exclusion, but they do get the goal, and they're in front early here, 1-0, as now we see Hungary on offense for the first time. In the cage, Alda Majari, the up-and-comer, just 20 years old for this Hungarian team as they work through their offensive progressions. Shot clock down to 9. Team USA in front early, 1-0. Shot clock about to expire. Good look inside, but nobody home. Fisher there for the takeaway. We told you about the Americans starters for Hungary. Dorotya Salagi in the field, along with Vonda Vai, Gabriela Such, Rebecca Parks, Rita Kestelyi, the captain, and Christina Garda. They join Majari in the field. Fatal, lob try. That's off the bar. Rebound controlled by Hungary.
See the different styles of defense that both teams are playing. You see Hungary starting out in a zone, the Americans starting out in a press, looking to trap the ball over on the right side of the pool.
Yeah, heavy press here from Team USA, and the fitness required to play this sort of defense is high. Just an ordinary there on the whistle, so we stay even strength. Opening moments, first quarter, Team USA and Hungary. Entry inside, good look, the turn, trouble here, Johnson with a tip and knocks it away. Excellent inside position for Parks, and Ashley Johnson was there.
Great patience by Johnson, keeping her legs, keeping her hands out, and even when it looked pretty dire there for a bit, she was able to keep her poise.
That's a beautiful entry pass to Parks. Ashley Johnson, one of the best in the goal worldwide, comes up with her first save. Here's Maddie Musselman now. Fisher works to Musselman. Aria Fisher in at 2 meters. Shot clock expiring. Musselman sails it high. That's over the cage and away. And the ball back to Hungary. It seems as if they've been able to settle in a little bit defensively after that initial goal.
Right. A lot of respect for Aria in the center position, but also I think also for their young goalkeeper. You have the kind of the battle of the experienced veteran in Ashley Johnson and the young up-and-comer in the Hungarian cage.
This is a Hungarian team that Coach Attila Biro really rebuilt after the 2017 Worlds. Here's a skip. That's off the bar on the attempt from Garda from the outside. Rebound controlled by Steffens. And so now this Hungarian roster, it's a mix of holdovers from London and Rio and then some really bright young talent. that came on board in 2018.
Absolutely. I was coaching the junior team for the past few summers, and we've seen a lot of these kids out at those tournaments. So it's cool to see them coming up and really contributing to a team that's going to the Olympics in a couple months.
Yeah, both teams have qualified. Neither have named their rosters yet. These are some important preparation pieces, and shots like that will help. Mackenzie Fisher adds the second for Team USA, and a low skipper from the outside for a 2-0 lead. And with that, we will get a timeout here. So early on, a good start for Team USA. Taking on Hungary, Mackenzie Fisher from Laguna Beach. The skip for the gold medalists. Team USA in front early.
I think it all comes down to preparation in terms of how we are going to attack Tokyo. I think preparing for each team. We don't know if we will be able to see everyone before we do get to Tokyo, so really taking the time to prepare as much as we can in practice, competing 100% and being able to be ready to go no matter what happens.
And there's Maddie Musselman taking a breather after scoring one of the first two to start here for Team USA. Second look here at what Musselman did to get things started for the United States, the UCLA Bruin out of Newport Beach, California, one of the high school powers in the area at Corona Del Mar, and one of the younger athletes that emerged in the Rio Olympic Games for Team USA that really made quick advances over those 2 years prior. We're back to live action now, first quarter here. Hungary looking for their first. Beautiful look inside position. A penalty is called. So Hungary working inside for Anako Gyangyoshi, who just came on, the 31-year-old, and she's able to draw a penalty.
Yeah, I've been able to watch her compete in the last couple summers, and she's improved tremendously, and she's a huge physical presence in the middle. A tough assignment to defend.
Here's the captain, Kestilyi. Connects, and Hungary is on the board as they deliver on the penalty try. And so early on, Natalie, a focus here for Hungary to work to 2 meters, and we've seen some nice interior passing.
Yeah, any type of live entry pass is especially devastating to the defense. The faster the ball moves and the further the ball moves, the more difficult it is for the defense and especially the goalie to get proper position.
And there's Kestilyi, the two-time Olympian representing Hungary in 2012 and 2016. A short stoppage here as they work on the clocks here in Commerce. Kestilyi, just 29 years old, but Coach Attila Biro just raves about the captain of this Hungarian team. She's been playing at the highest level over the last 10 years, and he said simply, she's our leader. And there's a look at Coach Biro. So he took over prior to the 2015 European Championships, and in Olympic circles, to replace your team sport head coach that close to an Olympic Games, that's tough stuff for the athletes involved. He came on board and quickly excelled. They win gold in 2016 in the European Champs. That qualifies them for Rio, and he's been the man since. And then across the way, Adam Krikorian, head coach for Team USA. He came on in 2009 and similarly hit the ground running with a world championship in Rome in that first summer, and just continues to pile up the accolades for Team USA. Clock is figured out, and we're back to it. 4:15 to play, first quarter action. Now pressure, we're seeing Hungary here with a press look. Here's Kaylee Gilchrist, she's come on. Now works to Stefania Haralabides, the left-hander from Athens, Greece, looking to make her first Olympic Games for Team USA. Paige Haschchild controls as Krikorian's able to go 6 in, 6 out here off the bench. Outside Gilchrist, timer to 4. They got to go from the outside. That'll work. Score it from the perimeter. Jordan Rainey's on the board.
Great pass by Kaylee Gilchrist. You know, I like to think of Kaylee as kind of like your glue girl. You know, she's that teammate that whenever she's in, just something really great happens.
And she finds Rainey here. A few fakes for the former Stanford Cardinal, and able to connect 3-1. And now Seidemann will pressure in the backcourt. Rainey part of a massive Stanford contingent on this Team USA roster. Cardinal well represented. Outside try, bar out on the quick attempt from Kestilyi, and Johnson controls.
Pretty smart look by Rita. You know, you had Ashley coming out of the cage to have a lot of respect for the center, try to catch her sleeping.
And Johnson was a little bit off her mark, but that shot goes off the bar. Now we'll work near side. Here's Harlabitis, and a little extra activity. We'll see an exclusion. The second power play attempt coming here for Team USA. 6-on-5 as they're sorting out who's departing. And now a power play underway for Team USA. Here's Gilchrist. A bit of an overpass.
Yeah, it's a physical game, but anytime you have the suit grab, you're going to get an exclusion.
And Rainey adds another. So Jordan Rainey, her second, as we give you a couple of things to keep an eye on. One of them, the power plays. They are such a huge part of any water polo match. If you have the advantage, if you're drawing more exclusions, it's not a hard and fast rule, but odds are you're going to be more successful.
And usually at this level, also at the senior team level, it's whomever wins the 6-on-5, 5-on-6 battle is usually the winner of the game.
So Rainey has helped Team USA get off to a hot start. 4-1 lead here in the first. The second for Rainey out of Manhattan Beach, California. Hungary was open there for a moment, didn't see it. They'll go back to work now out high. Here's Natasha Rybanska, who's come on. Skipper sails high. Is a little too much on that one. Up and away.
Yeah, anytime there's an after goal play, it's an opportunity for the team to reset and have an organized attack on their offensive end.
That pass a little short for Harlabitis, picked up by Dora Antal. Now Hochschild advancing. Gilchrist, quick look, deflected. Good help there from the perimeter D. And they'll credit that a field block as Majari is able to gather and advance for Hungary.
There's an interesting fact also with water polo for those who are fairly new to it. If there's a defensive deflection not by the goalkeeper, the defense gets possession.
That's a great point. That is counterintuitive to what you know from other sports. If you touch it and it goes out of bounds, typically it's off you. Here's a look inside. A ball under. That's a good defensive play by Team USA. They came over. You submerged the ball on the offensive player. That's a turnover. But to your earlier point, you can be a strong defender by deflecting a shot try out of bounds. You'll get the possession back, and that's why you see coaches yell hands up, defenders putting that one arm up to try and defend. Under 2 minutes to play now, first quarter. Rainey has 2 already. Here's Hochschild. Seidemann draws a crowd in at 2 meters. Timer to 2. Rainey has got another. Jordan Rainey with 3. A hat trick in this opening quarter.
Jo is not messing around today. She came to play.
This is where Jordan Rainey fans would tell us she's making it rainy from the outside. Her third, and off to a good start. And we talk about the importance of these games early on. This is the last looks before the Olympic team is named. Jordan Rainey has never made an Olympic team roster. You don't make or break your chances in one game, but you do want to try and solidify yourself.
Absolutely, and especially post-pandemic, where the Olympics were supposed to happen in summer of 2020. They get pushed back a year. That's an opportunity for somebody who may be on the bubble, and right now I think Jordan's taking advantage of that.
Here's Salagi now threatening, and that's field blocked away. Good help. Gilchrist there to cover up, and Team USA gathers in charge here. 5-1 in the first, powered by 3 goals from Jordan Rainey. Long outlet. Here's Rainey again. Just an ordinary as she's picked up on the perimeter.
Going back to making it rainy, I think we have to get T-shirts made.
It's a great idea. It could be a bestseller after tonight. Here's Gilchrist. Shot clock to 5. Harlabitis, the skip is turned away. Majari is there closing off the near side post as we fall under 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Hungary on the attack, looking for offense. This is Anna Ilish, who we told you about at the top, advancing. Good look to Rybanska. Antal now. 10 on the timer, 27 to go in the quarter. Rybanska takes a look. That's field blocked again. Downed by a forest of USA arms, and back to Johnson. Shot clock is off. Final moments here in this first quarter. Team USA can play for the final shot of this opening quarter, and they'll have the advantage. That's an exclusion out on the perimeter. Yang Yoshi is sent off. 6-on-5 here for Team USA. They can set it up. 7 seconds left. Harlabitis with 4. Outside Williams. Harlabitis got to go. Stop Majari. Beautiful save to close out the first. and kill that power play off. But otherwise, all Team USA in this opening 8 minutes as we start off this 3-game series. Tillabero and company, they find themselves trailing Team USA. Jordan Rainey, 3 big goals to open things up. Beautiful sunset across Southern California. Second quarter on the way here in Commerce. 5-1, Team USA leads. This Commerce youth sports program, as decorated as they come. This is not just any city athletic program. The amount of trophies in there, many of which belong to Brenda Villa and Patty Cardenas, speaks to their water polo prowess. Jordan Rainey showing us what she can do from nearby Manhattan Beach, California area. She has 3 big goals to get us started, and we are underway with Maddie Musselman winning the opening sprint to get this second quarter rolling. Team USA sweeping Canada last week. Winners of every major title you could think of since 2014. They work inside. The step out, nothing there. Steffens, fake dish, the skip, that's nasty. Maggie Steffens gave a look like she might pass it off and then rips it from the outside.
Beautiful. Just the gamesmanship in this whole possession from Aria, getting the ball in, not forcing a shot, kicking the ball back out to the perimeter player, forcing the defense to crash back. Gave Maggie a really great opportunity to finish the shot.
And how about this subtle fake from Steffens? Gives a look like she might underhand it to her left, and you can see 2 defenders just shift with her, the respect of her passing ability.
Right, it's kind of like the quarterback looking off the corner, or looking off the safety, and then hitting the first or second look. Tremendous. Really nice to see just really advanced water polo being played.
And so a 6-1 lead now for Team USA. Looks like we're having another clock issue here, so they're working on that as the Americans off to the hot start, 6-1, as Maggie Steffens adds her first. And this is the depth of Team USA. And that, Natalie, as we look back at this run, you're talking about all the golds you could want from 2014 on. They had a 69-game win streak that was snapped by the Australians early last year, but their success is largely grounded in their balance. They can go to their bench. Everyone is very good on this team.
Well, just seeing that they went 6 for 6 in the first rotation, the first substitution rotation, one shows that you want to get these athletes a lot of minutes and a lot of looks, but you can do that with this team. They can just go 6 in, 6 out.
Makes selecting that final 13, 12 plus an alternate for the Tokyo Olympics probably Coach Krikorian's toughest job.
Absolutely. It's probably the worst part of the job too. You know, all of these women have worked so hard, not only throughout the pandemic, but for the last 5 years now. And it's a dream of all of them just to get to the Olympic Games. So it's a tough position.
Yeah, how do you tell someone that could start for most any other country in the world that they can't make this team? But that comes with the job. Steffens stepping in front for the takeaway, back to Ashley Johnson. And Team USA will advance into the front court now. Just about a minute gone by into this second quarter. Here's Steffens out of Northern California, East Bay area, Danville, California. Works to Steffens from Musselman. Back to Musselman. Timer to 8. She'll let fly. They'll say enough was there on the save from Majari, not a goal, and she's able to pull it back out. Second look here.
The entire ball has to cross the plane of the goal. So if 3/4 of the ball goes past, still not a goal.
You can see a lot of close calls in water polo. In ordinary, so that will stay with Antal. And stay with Team Hungary on offense. Here's Antal, the former Cal Bear. The 2016 Olympian for Hungary. Pressure now from the United States. Shot clock to 4. Hungary's got to go. Entry inside, backhand, and Johnson read it the whole way, turning away that Rebecca Parks attempt.
You'll notice Johnson coming out of the cage on the foul inside 6 meters. That player is no longer live, and so the only option she has is make an entry pass so she can come out and help.
Aria Fisher tried to power through inside, ran into trouble. Now works back to Williams. Musselman, here's Fisher again, great position, and that'll be an exclusion as she was fully tied up with Daratya Silagi. And an exclusion. And Team USA back on the advantage. Their 4th try. Good look, stuffed. Majari turns away that try in close from Fatal. Beautiful defense. Second look.
They're really squeezing it in there. I think they probably had some better options to go with, but again, you got to be able to thread the needle at this level as well.
And point blank range, big stop there from the goalkeeper, Majari, just 20 years old, trying to make her first Olympic squad. Fatal looking for redemption, comes up with the tip and the steal and takes that one away, and Team USA will look to counter.
Fatal is just an incredible athlete on both ends of the pool. She's so powerful and so explosive. You saw that extension on her arm and the leg power to get up and out of the water, get a fingertip on that ball.
Under 5 to play, second quarter. Here's Fatal from Fisher. Fatal, let's fly. Catch and release. Rachel Fatal's on the board.
You don't want to get her going. She's pretty deadly when she gets on the move.
Former FINA World Championship MVP back in 2015. Lets it go, and that's the water polo version of a one-timer. The quick catch and shoot. Fatal, the latest to score for Team USA. They've got this one in control early, 7-1. Rachel Fatal, the 5th different scorer so far for Team USA out of Seal Beach, California. We talked about her athleticism. Not the biggest player in the water, but has that ability to rise up, tremendous leg strength.
What we just saw is something that's extremely important for the game, a catch and shoot off a pass, but it's really hard to do. It's really hard to gather your legs and get the ability to follow through on your body and snap your wrist through the ball. Very athletic.
All-American selection at UCLA, standout for the Bruins, and has taken that talent to Team USA. 7-1 lead early, just about halfway through this second quarter. Hungary trying to get on track. Here's Rybanska. Pours inside. That's an offensive foul, or what they call a contra foul in water polo. Too aggressive there from Gyong Yoshi at 2 meters.
And she had her arm wrapped around the waist of Elise Williams. Definitely an offensive foul. Too much of an advantage.
Steffens on the attack. Quick look, Williams. Big stop, Majari. Yes, it's 7-1 Team USA, but you've seen some impressive stops here from the up-and-comer.
Absolutely. The kid's having a great game, and that was a textbook 6-on-5 counterattack. Pretty high percentage look. Great save by the goalkeeper.
She had 8 big saves against Italy in the Olympic qualifier semifinal win, which punched Hungary's ticket to the Olympic Games. Top 2 finishers of that tournament earned their spot. Entry in again, and Haralabides coming over for the takeaway on the double team against Rybanska.
And double team in the double post. So you had both Rybanska and Szilagyi up in the center position.
Haven't had as much success, but Hungary clearly focused on getting that 2-meter game engaged here early on.
And Rybanska's a doer. You know, she's going to do things, and sometimes it's helpful to the team, and sometimes it's not helpful to the team, but she's going to definitely force the issue and do something to help the team.
Aria Fisher draws a crowd, and Anna Illich sent off. Picks up the foul as Aria Fisher wreaking havoc down low. 6-on-5 now. Haralabides back to Fisher, draws the exclusion, and then finishes it off. Aria Fisher, she has her first, and they continue to spread the goals around, an 8-1 advantage.
He had some options on that too. Steffens could have gone to her left over to Musselman, but opted to come back to position 6 and into the post with Fisher.
And you'd think, well, she's surrounded by 3-4 Hungarians. Maybe not the best time to deliver the ball inside, but Fisher goes quick with it, and you can tell it's something they practice often.
Absolutely, and if you can get the ball into the post and you can finish aggressively, it's a very difficult shot to block when the shooter's that close to you.
Aria Fisher, Stanford Cardinal, still has eligibility left. Heading back to the farm after the Olympic Games. And now a power play for Hungary. And exclusion will go against Team USA.
And Jamie Nuschel just kind of got caught with their hands in the cookie jar.
And Hungary will take it. A must-have on offense as Rita Kestilyi connects on the first power play strike.
Anytime a player is trying to swim into position and you impede her movement by pushing against her or denying her with your hands, it's going to be an exclusion.
That's a beautiful shot from Kestilyi. And now Haralabides threatening. This is trouble. The lob on the money for Stefania Haralabides. The left-hander answers immediately after the Kestilly power play.
Just amazing how quickly she got open right after the goal. She has this eye-drawing ability to accelerate quickly. It's one of her really unique talents on this team.
And came on board with this squad through the last quadrennial, so wasn't there right after Rio, but you see her offensive ability. Plus she's a left-hander. They haven't had a lefty since the 2008 games.
Yeah. Brittany Hayes, one of my teammates.
Yeah. Part of that silver medal effort in Beijing with Natalie in the USA squad. And so it's worked out okay, but when you can add one, it brings such a different element to your offense.
Definitely a strong side shooter from the right side of the pool. And again, with her speed and her length, absolutely a great option.
Rainey controlling here. Pressure again from Hungary. Seidemann now in at 2 meters. Hungary ready to drop. Here's Hochschild now. Haralabides, timer to 8. Cruising in. Inside Gilchrist. Low skip is good. Kaylee Gilchrist.
And Hungary moved into what we call an M zone, where they take 2 defenders and they move them up high in between the 3 offensive players on top. Gilchrist gets creative, steps in, finds an opening, presents her hand, and is able to finish.
Now 8 different scores for Team USA, and the story of Kaylee Gilchrist, we'll have it for you tomorrow night during our broadcast of Team USA and Hungary, but her road to recovery after an accident following the World Championships, nothing short of inspiring. It was a fall during a nightclub collapse in 2019, a long road back, but she's back to top form ahead of the Olympic Games.
And always did it with a smile on her face.
Turn inside, penalty. They work into Parks, and the center with the reverse wheel takes a couple of defenders with her and will draw the second penalty shot try for Hungary. And Dora Limeter will come on. Left-hander connects. And Hungary adds another one back on their second penalty connect. So 10-3 with about 90 seconds left in this first half. These are tough to block. If you're familiar with penalty shots and other sports, about the same success rate for the goalkeeper. It is difficult to make the denial.
And some goalkeepers have different tactics on these. Sometimes they guess aside, or they'll kind of shift their body to one side of the cage and kind of bait the shooter into going the opposite way. But best advice is just throw the darn thing. Just get it in there.
Here's Gilchrist. She'll work into a better position. Shot clock to 4. Now Hochschild from distance with 2. And tried to find Fisher on the post.
Great look, just a little hot. Pass out a little too much mustard on it.
Actually, that was Jamie Neutral she was trying to spot, but as you said, a little too much pace on that. It turns over. Now less than a minute to go, first half. 10-3 lead for Team USA. They have been in control since the start. Kestilly has the ordinary helicopter backhand, and it's saved by Johnson. So Rita Kestilly going for the spinning backhand try, and that one was stopped by Ashley Johnson. Those are highlight style moves. Just couldn't find the back of it. I know the coach knew he was cringing.
Yeah. I think she knew we were going to be on ESPN.
Yeah, trying to make SportsCenter early.
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
Working outside now, Neuschel. Here's Hochschild. Shot clock to 7. Trouble here. Now to 3. They got to go. Haralabides does just that. Skip off the bar. Rebound controlled by Hungary. As we come to the end of the first half, Majari will let it fly. That'll sail over the cage. And a dominant start for the top team in the world. Team USA leading Hungary 10-3 here at intermission. They spread it around 8 different scorers, 3 for Jordan Rainey. That's balance.
It's fantastic. And also, Jordan Rainey's not one of the returning Olympians, the many returning Olympians on this roster. So obviously trying to earn a spot on the Olympic team to go out to Tokyo. But it's great to see, again, one of the younger people on the team who hasn't had a roster spot on an Olympic team really earning it and being somebody that you're going to have to match up with if you're the Hungarians.
Yeah, it really can be any player at any time for this U.S. squad. And now we're going to hear from Coach Adam Krikorian, Team USA head man, standing by. Coach, thanks for joining us here. Good start, 10-3. We're talking about the balance of this team. 8 different scores. Jordan Rainey has 3. How do you describe the depth of your squad?
Well, I think that's what makes us great, strength in numbers, and I think it makes it difficult for our opponents all the time. I mean, we can beat you in so many different ways, and great to see Jordan go off there, but it's not just Jordan, right? It's all the other players that are giving her the space also to get open and to finish.
Coach, what's your goal for this game and for this 3-game series?
Well, first of all, hello, Natalie.
Hi, Coach.
That's Natalie Benson there. 2-time Olympic medalist and 3-time NCAA championship. Good to see you. More importantly, mother of 2.
That's right.
Our goal, really, I mean, we had, a week ago, we played our first game in 453 days. So there's almost too much to work on for us. It's about kind of getting the jitters out, getting some live action against obviously a very talented and physical and fast Hungarian team, and just getting some experience under our belt. I mean, I'm always a big emphasis on defense is always super important for us. So to hold this team to 3 goals in the first half, I'm certainly happy, and hopefully the rest of the series goes somewhat like this. I doubt it will, but hopefully it does.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. We'll see you post-game.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
All right, Adam Krikorian and Team USA in front 10-3, and it's that depth that's what makes his job of picking this Olympic team so very hard, but you see why this team continues to pile up nothing but gold. We're at the break. We're back to Commerce after this. Halftime here in Commerce, California, brought to you by Nulo Pet Food. Team USA ahead of Hungary 10-3. 8 different scores have powered the top-rated American squad. Now, you might be new to water polo. Maybe this is your first match. Welcome to the sport of water polo. And let's give you a little bit more insight of when you watch water polo now or this summer, here's what you're going to see.
When you're watching water polo, it's captivating.
You're going to see hardworking women working together. You're going to see intelligent play.
You're definitely going to see excitement. You're going to see energy.
And it's very physical. So there's a lot of interaction between the offense and the defense, but a lot of good reading of the game so you can see where your teammates are moving and make quick decisions and quick passes.
When you watch water polo, you're going to see a passionate group of women playing the sport they love at a fast pace and hopefully some domination.
People are swimming and fighting for the ball. It's not just an overwater game, it's an underwater game. So there's movement happening all over the place. And don't get overwhelmed by the whistles. It's actually a simple game. So follow the ball, watch the team, and enjoy.
Just so much hype and energy both in the pool and on the bench, and those are the games you live for. There's only been a few of those that I've been a part of, and when they happen, it's a really special time. So that's always the goal, and if that could happen 6 or 7 games in a row in Tokyo, then I think we'll be in good hands.
Games easy, does it in close. Brigida Games. Good look, Musselman. Jamie Neutral, Harold Labita's front doorstep, jams it in. Johnson denies Megan's. The streak continues.
It's very visible and you can feel it when we're playing at our best, and I think it looks beautiful. It looks creative. It looks smooth. It has a good flow, and it's just beautiful water polo.
This team, we're still trying to do something that no group has ever done before, so we're always setting new goals for ourselves.
Anyone can beat anyone on any day, and I think we have to come and bring our best in practice so that we can bring our best in every game, and you got to keep working. If you stop working, someone's going to get you.
What we put into it is what we're going to get out of it, and I think there's something magical to that too.
Halftime in Commerce, Team USA opening up a 3-game series with Hungary. Final preparation on the way to the Tokyo Olympic Games and off to a great start. They lead 10-3. Let's take a look back at what transpired in this first half, Natalie. And Jordan Rainey got in the groove. 3 goals, part of 8 different scores that connected for the United States.
And when you're a dominant shooter like Jordan is, any time the other team runs a zone against you, you're kind of licking your chops. You're ready to take that shot, and Jordan's taking advantage of it.
We'll look here at 3 of her strikes, and then when she starts to connect, and this happens really with anyone on this team, it opens it up for others to work at 2 meters and work elsewhere as we look at some of the halftime numbers.
Right, and even though, you see those shots from Jordan from the outside, and then you notice later on in the period, we're going to the posts. They're stepping in, they're looking for the post action, looking for that extra pass up and over, so anywhere can be a threat.
Hungary's done the job from the penalty 5-meter area, drawn 2 of those, connected on both. That's 2 of their 3 goals. They have some work to do. Second half just about to begin between Team USA and Hungary. United States, #1 ranked team in the world. They lead 10-3. This is the start of a 3-game series between these two. We're right back at it tomorrow night in Irvine, California. Join us 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on ESPNU and streaming live on the ESPN app for these two squads getting together once more. This is what both teams wanted. They wanted to get together, have some official games, all part of their preparation. Coach Attila Biro telling us this morning to study from a better team, in this case the U.S., is always good preparation. It's what they're hoping to get out of this next week and a half is really build as a team towards the Olympic Games.
Right, preparation and benchmarks. You can always get better in a month, 2 months. It's a good opportunity for both teams.
And even a start like this, you look at 10-3 and say, okay, well, Team USA has this well in control, but there are things Hungary can take from even these first 16 minutes and work with going forward.
Absolutely, and both teams haven't played games together against other national teams. The Hungarians have had the opportunity to play with their respective clubs at home, even through COVID. The Americans have been training, but playing and training are 2 very different things. So it'll be interesting to see how everything shakes out come the summer.
Good start here for Hungary. They draw an exclusion. That'll go on Mackenzie Fisher. She will head off, and a 6-on-5 try coming now for Hungary. They converted on their lone opportunity in the first half. Hungary moving left to right here in the dark caps. They go from the outside now near side, and that's good to go. Score for Brenda Villa. And the power play connect is there, the second for Hungary.
You were talking about the left-hander playing on the right side. Vanda is right-handed, but you see how quickly she releases the ball with her wrist. Nice little fake, hitch, wrist snap. Gets Ashley up on her legs and finishes cross cage.
And Vi, another one of the younger players, just 21 years old, rising up the ranks in this Hungarian national team pipeline, and really has them poised, not just for Tokyo, but coaches are always looking ahead, looking at Paris, Los Angeles, to have the next couple of quadrennials with players like her in mind.
With their current roster, they're pretty set. It's looking pretty good for the Hungarians in their future.
Good look to Fisher now. Shot clock to 2. Musselman, and she is knocked down. Good help defense there from Hungary. It allowed Majari to gather that up with not much pace on the shot try.
You see that pace that Coach Gregorian was talking about from the Hungarians. And get off the block and get out. Really push pace on the swim, on the transition.
Reminder on our cap colors here, Team USA in the white caps. And Hungary back on offense. Here's Musselman defending. Opening moments, third quarter. Entry back inside, good look. And the exclusion. So back-to-back exclusions here for Hungary to get things going in this third quarter. And the skip is there, and back-to-back goals. Count it for Natasha Rybanska from the outside. And Hungary now 3 for 3 on the advantage, following the exclusion on Elise Williams.
Right, not even 2 minutes have elapsed in this third period, and we were talking about how Hungarians have a big gap to close, but you see how quickly that gap can be closed by a talented team.
And that's some sharp shooting from the outside. That bounced on the skip right underneath 2 arms for Team USA, and then past Johnson. So 10-5 Hungary chipping away here. 2 unanswered to start this second half. Williams now. She'll walk it in, and an exclusion on this end. So Aria Fisher, she's been a problem for Hungary. Mackenzie Fisher finishes it off. Quickly connecting. You talked about how you can hit on a power play towards the end of the clock in that confusion. Same rule applies as the exclusion gets underway. You see the defender leaving, top of your screen. That creates movement. Everyone trying to find their spot, and Fisher connects.
Absolutely. It's probably the most susceptible time. We call it the quick. You want to get it out quickly to the teammate that is most open and try to catch them with their hands down, looking around for their matchups.
Mackenzie Fisher now with 2. Also a Stanford Cardinal on this team.
Yeah, after goal, the Hungarians like to run little wraps around the center position, try to pick, kind of like in basketball or even football, picking your defender off of you to open up somebody else. So using the contact with another player to rub the defender off.
You see all the movement here. Had USA a little out of sorts for a moment. Now they've recovered. And that's rock solid defense, a shot clock violation as Hungary never gets a shot off. Mackenzie Fisher helping defending. That's really where she got her start with Team USA. Over 6 feet tall, long arms, a defender. Was a stellar offensive player in high school, played that defender role, and now she's just a Swiss Army knife for this squad.
Well, even though your position says defender, it's still very important for you to be a viable attacker, because when you transition, you end up in this top position right here, so you have to be able to be a proficient shooter.
Sounds like someone I know to my right. We called you a defender, right? But you could put it away from the outside.
That was okay. I did all right.
11-5, Team USA, nearing the 5-minute mark in this third quarter. Van de Vaay has 1, moving in, gives off to Salagi. They'll work it back outside now. Limater. Back inside. The big turn. Johnson out. Wow, what a scoop to come back and grab it. She looked to be beaten completely. And then that arm comes out of nowhere to gather up the shot. Look at this.
I think you see Ashley's athleticism, but also her grit, being able to stick with that and not give up so quickly. So for all our young viewers, let that be a lesson to you. Stay with it.
Offensive foul here on Team USA. Most goalies are beat on that play. A lob overhead to be able to have the presence of mind to reach back and also not knock it further into the goal.
Right, and that's why Ashley's Ashley. She's definitely a special goalkeeper, extremely athletic, very smart, Princeton graduate. But also, we're talking about Kaylee Gilchrist and her, just super stoked attitude about everything, even throughout all these trials and tribulations. But Ashley's very similar. She's kind of dad joke extraordinary. You can always count on her to laugh at your jokes.
So we have a cap they've got to find. It's a good time to step aside here. Second look at Ashley Johnson. As good as it gets in goal. Right back for the stop. Ashley Johnson, the Miami, Florida native, has been rock solid in goal for Team USA for a number of years and doing it again here in 2021. She has come up with some big stops, able to prepare for that helicopter try to knock that one down. And the former Princeton Tiger coming right back with this scoop and save to keep Hungary off the board. 5 saves so far tonight. A trailblazer in women's water polo, the first African-American woman to represent the U.S. in women's water polo at the Olympic level back in Rio, and has gone on to inspire a generation not just in water polo, but across a variety of youth sports. And just a massive impact felt here for Team USA. Shot clock to 4. Under 4. That's a real tussle there. Timer to 1. They got to get rid of this. And with the shot clock expiring, this is a difference here in water polo than maybe basketball, another shot clock sport where you just put it up if the shot clock's winding down. Water polo, strategically, you want to, what they say, dump it off to the side. Don't start a counterattack for your opposition.
Exactly. Sometimes if you force up a shot that's ill-advised or you're under pressure, it's not a shot you would take if the clock was normal. You're sometimes the first pass of the opponent's counterattack. So best to just put it in the corner.
Here's Rainey now. USA facing a dwindling shot clock. Hochschild with 2. Harlabitis lets fly, and that's up over the cage and away, and the ball back to Hungary. Just about 3 minutes to play, third quarter. Team USA has led from the beginning. Hungary made a charge out of the gates in this second half. Back-to-back goals, but Team USA settling in here. Limater now working around the way. Here's Illich, save Johnson. Ashley Johnson with the left, her 6th stop so far tonight.
Some water polo defenses are designed to try to force the shot from a right-handed shooter on the right side of the pool. It's lower percentage shot.
Rainey now on the move. Jordan Rainey just barring out, looking for her 4th. Alda Majari gathers. Second look on the Rainey try, a few fakes, and Majari getting in the way of that as well. That's an exclusion. Kaylee Gilchrist aggressive on Kestilly. Power play now for Hungary, and Kestilly stopped by Ashley Johnson, so Johnson's starting to heat up now, and it's also the first time that Hungary failed to convert on the 6-on-5.
And Kestilly, I think, is feeling the scoreboard a little bit, trying to be the captain, be the leader, force a little bit. Great drawn exclusion, but could have been a little bit more patient, use the team a little bit more.
Arlabitis. Gilchrist gives a look. Let's go. That's off the bar and away. And the rebound controlled by Team Hungary. And now on the counter, here's Vi. Defenders giving chase. They go middle, a knockdown there. Good movement, and Johnson ready with the right to turn away the Szilagyi try.
And the Hungarians are really pushing on the counterattack. It is difficult on your, going from offense to defense to pick up your transition players. And the earlier the Hungarians can attack in their offensive transition, the more kind of disoriented the American defense may be.
Penalty on this end. Seidemann battling in close. You see, she drew 3 Hungarians. And it will go against Kestilly on the foul. First penalty try coming here for Team USA. Harlabitis will be the shooter. Harlabitis, good to go. The second for Stephanie Harlabitis, 26 years old, from Greece, but played her college ball at USC.
And these penalty shots are taken from the 5-meter line. Goalkeeper has to have her head between the goalposts or back behind the goalposts. 2 defensive players can be on or at the goalpost behind 5 meters or at 5 meters. And then they ultimately, once the ball is released from the shooter's hand, they can move in to try to get the rebound if the shot is missed.
And we weren't treated to it just now, but there's often a dance that goes on between the goalie and the shooter. Goalie comes out, shooter slides in. Eventually the referee has to break the whole thing up, put everyone back to their space.
Yeah, the new thing is players on the sides and a player behind will try to kind of get a little too close to the shooter, a little bit of gamesmanship on that.
Less than a minute to play, third quarter. Exclusion on this end. That's Harlabitis going off on the 6-on-5. Hungary now with the advantage, their 5th of the game. Snapping these passes around the perimeter. Illich out high, score it. That's good for Christina Garda, the first for the Rio Olympian.
See the presence on the post with Ganyoshi really working, demanding the presence of the post players, really making Rainey work. Gives Garda an opportunity to push one in.
So many of these Hungarian athletes getting a lot of game experience recently in the Hungarian league. Garda, one of the many that competes for the Duna Újváros club in Hungary. And that gives some continuity to what they're trying to do as a national team. Neuschel walks in. Shot clock is off. Final 10 seconds of this third quarter. Here's Hochschild. Timer to 4. Hochschild, that is wide of the cage and away. And just 2 seconds left. So let's say that was back to Hungary. Last try, Johnson knocks it away, and that's all for the third quarter. So Hungary comes to life to start this third, back-to-back goals, but then Team USA regains their form. Ashley Johnson closing the door on a variety of attempts. It's a 12-6 lead for Team USA. Adam Krikorian, Team USA, leading Hungary 12-6 as they get underway in a 3-game series with the 4th-ranked team in the world. He'll have to name his Olympic roster next Thursday, June 3rd in Los Angeles. And so just a few more matches, a few more days of practice. Natalie, you were on the other side of that 2 times around, going for an Olympic roster. Take us in the mind of the players. What's your thought process here when you know selection day approaches?
You're just doing everything you can in training to prove yourself and to make sure that, one, you're ready for that experience, you're able to help the team, but also that the coaches and your teammates see that you are a really big part of the roster and you're important for the success of the team.
12 athletes plus 1 alternate to be selected for all 10 women's Olympic teams headed to Tokyo.
And that's something that's also new, Greg. Back when we played, it was 13 athletes, you know, and maybe had a 14th as an alternate, but now it's 12 plus 1. So it's getting even more difficult to make one of these rosters.
Excellent save there on the Ontal try, and there's movement on that. Initially, when they added a 9th and 10th team to the women's field, it was 8 teams previously. The initial announcement, 11 per roster, and then many realizing that would not allow for a proper amount of goalies, so then it became 12, and then an alternate was added. And so you do kind of get back to that 13, but to your point, it's not as clear-cut because only 12 will play in each game. Brenda coming across for the steal. A race for it here on the outlet. Nice job here by Anna Illich just to keep this ball in play as it was close to crossing out of bounds. Nice look to Rybanska.
And personally, I'm just so impressed with the evolution of the women's game. You know, even from when we played, just seeing the speed, the pace, everything. It is a beautiful game, as the women were talking about in the preview.
Anna Illich, as we told you about at the start, gets on the board her first. She's been a mainstay on this Hungarian roster for some time at the junior level, and we'll get an opportunity here to let fly.
Nice little hezzy, wrist snap, strong finish.
We were talking about her before we got started here. She may not appear to be the biggest athlete in the pool, but she's long.
She's long, and seriously, every time I see her out of the water, and I'm always shocked. I'm like, oh yeah, she is pretty tall, you know, but in the water she looks a little bit more slight, but she is a fantastic athlete.
Shot clock to 6 for Team USA. Mackenzie Fisher looking for more. She's knocked down, and the shot clock will expire here. Fatal tips that one away. And Hungary will have it back. Still a battle there between Aria Fisher, and the officials saw that one as Fisher gave a kick to the face of Natasha Rybanska. And Aria Fisher will go off here as a power play is upcoming for Hungary.
All of that was set up by Illich, you know, really working defensively, positioning herself well, coming up over hips, disrupting the pass, forcing the turnover. Aria Fisher wasn't prepared for that ball to be turned over, and again got caught, hands down, kicked off. Now they have to play 5-on-6.
So common in water polo, especially at critical moments, and this not as close a match as Hungary would like, but as we see Fisher in the exclusion area for the next 20 seconds, so often see coaches quickly call a timeout. They've drilled these plays so regularly. So what's typically the topic of conversation before a 6-on-5?
Maybe just reminders, which play they want to run, where they want certain personnel, making sure certain people get to certain positions. Maybe also like add an extra fake, make sure you lock the goalkeeper down, try to draw this player out. Just reminders, just little tidbits, kind of like the Cliff's Notes version of the play.
Rybanska there. She took the kick from Fisher, and that sets up the 6-on-5 now for Team USA. On the advantage, here's Garda, has one already. Working around Illich now. Just under 6 to play, fourth quarter. Garda, good look inside. A double team. Across the way, they work it. Limeter. Sides coming even. Nothing there. Limeter has it back. Beautiful. Little hesitation that sent Johnson near side. She goes across the way for the score.
I know Coach Krikorian is going to be frustrated, or this might be one of his bigger takeaways from this game, is the performance on 5-on-6. He prides himself on defense, and especially 5-on-6 defense. Usually, again, the team that wins the 6-on-5, 5-on-6 battle is usually the winner in really tight games. So I know he's going to be disappointed. It's going to be a point of emphasis for the Americans moving forward.
Yeah, Hungary just about perfect. 5 for 6 right now on the advantage, and it does go counter to what we talked about, as you just alluded to. If you have that advantage, you typically win the match. Hungary is chipping away here. 12-8, under 5.5 to go. And we'll see an exclusion on this end. Bar out on the quick try in close. They tried to go to the quick as Rachel Fatal again popped up and tried to hammer that one home off the cage and away.
You see Garda getting out to the exclusion box. The athlete who was excluded, regardless of if the team gets possession back, still has to go to the exclusion area and then re-enter the pool from there.
Antal, just an ordinary foul as Hungary will regroup here on offense, trying to stage a late game rally. This will help. Another exclusion, so they continue to perform well, drawing exclusions, and now trying to cash in Elise Williams. That's her second foul. Hungary sets up their attack. Kestilyi works to Garda. Garda hitting. Hungary battling back now with 3-goal game, 12-9 with 4:34 to play. Christina Garda hitting as the exclusions are piling up, and Hungary converting at a high rate, trying to work their way back. We'll take a timeout and see how much closer the Hungarians can get after this break. Well, it was a party atmosphere here for Team USA, Natalie, but Hungary has strung some things together here, battling back.
This is what great teams do, and we talked about it at the very beginning. The Hungarians have a rich history of this game, and they're never going to give up. You know, this team is going to the Olympic Games. They're not going to roll over that easily. But if I'm Coach Krikorian, I'm excited for the opportunity to have somewhat of a close game and get our athletes more experience getting into the games.
That has been one of the challenges, is how do you keep a team like this sharp? We're talking about a squad that had a 69-game win streak, that has won a lot of matches in lopsided fashion. They would love, not that they want to struggle in a game, but they would love the challenge, to your point.
The struggle is part of it, you know. It's in the Olympic creed, you know. The struggle is definitely a part of your journey. So I think this team really thrives in the struggle.
Gilchrist sails it wide as the shot clock was winding down. And so plenty of time here for Hungary to work their way back in. 12-9, 4 minutes to go. They have excelled on the advantage. Now 6 for 7. There's been a couple there that were right as sides coming even, but nonetheless, they've all been powered by this opportunity to draw exclusions.
See Seidemann calling for the press on the swing, able to deny the entry pass into the center.
Limeter nowhere to go, works out to Illich. Shot clock to 4. Limeter, Johnson with the left. So after Hungary strung a few together, Ashley Johnson comes back with a big stop. Hochschild now advancing. Hochschild gives a look. Shot clock to 8. Extended offense here. Exclusion will go against Hungary and Salagi. 6-on-5 now for Team USA. Hochschild, Haralabitis around the way, Rainey. Here's Nuschel, timer to 7. Haralabitis faking and hitting. Stefania Haralabitis eyes up her target, inches a bit closer, and then drills it.
Nasty.
She has 3.
Running that one in rotation, so the left side of the pool rotates to their left, really opens up the left-hander for a wider angle on the cage, and she nails it.
few looks here. Treading in on her legs while she gives a variety of fakes with the left. And the goalie, the defenders can only stay up so long before that one is in the back of the net. 13-9, Team USA. Exclusion down here.
So even with the Americans running a zone defense, they were Hungarians were still able to draw the exclusion out of the center position.
That's on Paige Hochschild. Szilagyi now. Big on her legs, nothing there. Working around, field block, good help. Jamie Neuschel devours that shot try. That's a welcome sight for the USA defense to be canceling out a Hungary power play where they've been so strong tonight.
Especially having it coming from a field block as opposed to a goalkeeper block. You want to make sure you help your goalie out by funneling the shot towards your goalkeeper, not expecting her to cover the entire width of the goal.
Big battle at 2 meters as the shot from Rainey is turned away. Seidemann was tied up with Gyung Yoshi for a moment as Rainey lets go, and we're under 2 minutes now here in the fourth. Bad pass, tipped away. Harlobitis doesn't see it, swam right past it. A fight for it, and the ordinary, it'll go to Hungary. Szilagyi now. Here's Illich. Shot clock to 5. Firing that pass in, too much pace on that one as they worked into 2 meters. It skipped right past Seidemann, came right to Johnson. And then an easy exclusion call there as Seidemann was totally wrapped up by Gyung Yoshi. You can see her try and work free, an aggressive swim stroke there, and it makes it clear that she can't move. Exclusion's called, timeout is called, and Team USA will go up on their 9th power play try.
Yeah, you see the kind of clash of the titans between Melissa Seidemann and Gyung Yoshi in the center position on both sides of the pool. And, you know, you talk about the fitness level required by these athletes in order to be successful. You have both players competing on both sides of the ball in the most difficult position there is to play. So Seidemann showing a lot of poise on the offensive end. You know, probably got a nice punch on this side and then coming back on this side. And again, showing the swim strokes, exposing the hold and drawing the exclusion in the backcourt.
And in that position, 2 meters, whether you're on the offensive or defensive end, there is a skill to maintaining your emotions because there's a lot of activity going on. You're getting pulled, kicked, these sorts of things, but you have to be able to be a cool, calm customer down there.
Yeah, you got to be mean, but you can't show it.
Yep.
You know, you've got to keep your poise, at least from, you know, the neck up.
1:20 remaining, fourth quarter. 6-on-5 here for the United States. Here's Steffens, Musselman now. Steffens works to Gilchrist. Here's Mackenzie Fisher. Double post option. Fisher tries the skip. She's turned back. Majari is there. Sides are even. Less than a minute to go in this one.
See the quality of the passes by the Americans, the crisp movement, swinging the ball from side to side, making the goalkeeper cover the entire width of the cage, making the defenders move, trying to find somebody with their hands down. A little bit of a forced shot by Fisher.
Inside now, good position. Johnson devours that attempt in close from Rebecca Parks. Center had fantastic position, turned inside, and then was met by the wall that is Ashley Johnson, turning that one back.
Yeah, I think Parks had some options. She had kind of a meat hook grab on the ball. She had a better grip on it. She probably could have taken a little bit more time to throw in a little ball fake or put a lob up and over Johnson, or even letting go of the ball, absorbing the contact by Elise Williams and drawing a penalty.
Mackenzie Fisher missed last time. This time, all net, her third. This is where Fisher is so difficult. It's almost like the baseball pitcher with a release that is difficult to track. She puts the ball up high and then is able to control it low on the water. It's not a shot everyone's expecting, that low skipper towards the post.
And she definitely doesn't telegraph her shots either. You see the quality of the wrist release in a lot of these higher level players. You know, the Hungarians do it really, really well. They're balanced up on their legs and they have these amazing ball fakes. And I think that's one of the cooler things about watching high level water polo.
That one's tipped out by Johnson. Final moments here. So Hungary makes a go of it in this second half. They come out strong to start the third quarter. They use the power play very well. They'll be very pleased with that effort here tonight. But Team USA is going to have a little bit too much offense to close things out. Last try here from 2 meters. Knocked down by Ashley Johnson. And Team USA takes the first in this 3-game series with Hungary. They win it 14-9. As Adam Krikorian and company open up a pivotal exhibition series with a victory. And he talked about it at the half. The balance of the squad, that's really what stands out tonight on offense. I think defense, as you alluded to, they'll want to talk about some things. But offensively, they were well-versed in spreading it around.
Right. They had enough to get the job done tonight for sure. I know, again, Adam's going to be disappointed in the quality of their man down or their 5-on-6 defense. But again, this is mutually beneficial for both teams. They're going to get good looks at each other, have some good scouting reports, kind of know tendencies of the different athletes, who forces things, who can get out of sorts, but also a good reminder that, you know, they're not going to give up. Maybe for our viewers at home, they're thinking this is going to be a blowout and they should turn it off, but then it gets interesting, and it gets interesting very quickly, and that's the beauty of this game, especially when it's played at a high level.
So 14-9, your final. We've got a lot more on the way. We're going to catch up with some members of Team USA and look back at this one, but a good start for the #1 rated team in all the land. A 14-9 victory for Team USA. ESPN's exclusive presentation of USA Women's Water Polo is brought to you by Anti-Wave and Cap 7 International. Welcome back. Final score here tonight in Commerce. Team USA 14, Hungary 9, and someone who got the ball rolling early for Team USA, Jordan Rainey, joining us now. Jordan, 3 big goals to get things started. We talked with Coach Krikorian. Tell us from your standpoint, the depth of this squad, it seems to make Team USA so dangerous.
I mean, our first and second line are absolutely relentless. You just get them tired in the first shift, and then 6 new people come in, and I wouldn't want to be the opposing side of our squad.
So, Joe, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What did you have for breakfast today?
Wheaties. What else did I have? A smoothie. Nothing too exciting.
Nice. So I just want to know, you had a great game, 3 big goals, shooting through the zone and pinning it in the corner. What's your mindset going into the rest of the series with the Hungarians?
Just keep getting better every game. We have 3 more games against them, so just getting better as a team, getting better at setting each other up, reflecting on what they did on defense and on offense, and adjusting accordingly.
And then give us a little sense here, the long layoff. We've been throwing this number out quite a bit. 453 days from one game to the next. You saw a lot of each other. Any team, even a close family like yours, might get a little tired of being around the same women all day, all the time. How did you work through that, and how good does it feel to be back playing someone else?
It's a blessing to be playing other people because we spent a lot of time together, a lot of arguments, a lot of frustration, but honestly playing against each other, I mean, we're some of the world's best, and playing against each other only makes us better, and it's just exciting to get new looks, get new people, new countries to play against.
And Jordan, you've had to talk about this a bit, but we know you're trying to make that first Olympic team. We're getting down towards the end here. How do you handle the thought of this announcement coming soon and trying to do whatever you can to make sure you make that final group?
I mean, all of us have been putting almost 5 years into this and just enjoying what we've put in the past 4.5 years, and this is the reward for us playing against each other 24/7, playing against someone else, and just having fun and being present in the being present in the moment, and just this is what we worked for.
That's fair. You have a lot of morning practices, so I understand why that's on your mind.
We do have a lot of morning practices, yes.
Jordan Rainey, 3 big goals. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow night in Irvine.
Thank you.
Great job, Joe.
Jordan Rainey doing the job here for Team USA. Stick around. We'll catch up with Ashley Johnson. She had a strong second half. We're coming back with more in Commerce after this. $14-9, the final score here at the Brenda Villa Aquatics Center, where Team USA defeats Hungary 14-9. Ashley Johnson in goal for the U.S. joining us now. 14 big saves. Ashley, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Greg.
Hey, Ashley, so early on, the offense does the job for Team USA, but then you had to sweat it out there at the end. Just tell us what's going through your mind in the cage as Hungary starts to mount a comeback.
I mean, Hungary has amazing shooters, and we have an amazing defense. We just have to stay focused, and especially late in the game when we're not scoring as much, it's all about defense. So it's just about me communicating to the defense what needs to go on and everyone being locked in and responding.
Yeah, in that same vein, Ashley, that Hungarian 6-on-5 was pretty tough. They had some really great shots coming out. What are some takeaways or some lessons that either you or the team can take from this match?
I mean, we're just going to keep growing. It's really cool to experience the fast passing and the movement of the ball and the aggressiveness of their shooters. Like the confidence, the pure confidence is just something that you learn to respond to, and maybe we haven't seen it in a long time, so we're really happy to have that, and we're just going to keep on building on our defense and 5-on-6 and learning their 6-on-5 as we move forward.
Changing gears a little bit, coming off of over 400 days of not having any competition for you guys, how has this pandemic changed your perspective on competing and playing in the Olympic Games?
I mean, this pandemic has revealed that there's just so much room to grow. We thought we were at our peak a year ago, and we heard that the Olympics were going to be postponed a year, and that just gave us even more time to grow as a team, to get closer together, to get better at the things that we were already good at and improve on our weaknesses. So yeah, it's just been a time of improvement, of growth, of change, and of adjustment. Like nothing is guaranteed, and every opportunity that we get to play as a team and play together it's a miracle. It's really, really great.
Ashley, you hit on something. We were just talking about it with Jordan, but the premise that you've had so much time with each other, and now you have a chance to play others. You had Canada last week, and then Hungary this week and next week. What's been the frame of mind going into games where you actually get a chance to take it out on someone else? You're not just beating up on each other all day.
We're really happy to have an opponent. We've really been grinding against each other, and that's amazing because we have some of the best players at what they do in the world, and that's really special with our team. And every team has like a few really, really great players, but like going against Maggie Steffens, going against Melissa Seidemann, going against Aria Fisher every day, that builds you and it makes you great. But it's really nice to be able to grind together against someone else.
And then we were talking about next week, Olympic team naming. You've been through this before. This has to, of course, feel a bit different with the pandemic and everything else. But as you inch up towards that day to find out if you're going to a second Olympics, what's going through your head? How do you process each day that's left?
I mean, it's so surreal that it's coming up right now. I'm so excited to hear who the team is. I know that whoever Adam picks is going to be the best team that we have to put forward. Like any of all of us women can get to the Olympics and achieve our goal of getting gold. But yeah, I fully trust Adam. I fully trust our team. And we're all so excited to get to that point, to hear the team and just continue to move forward, continue to grow together, and continue to build the team that we've been working on for the past 5 years now.
Ashley Johnson, great game tonight, 14 saves. We'll see you tomorrow night in Irvine. Hey, we got the Johnson family in the house, Donna Johnson and Ashley's brother here joining us from Miami, Florida, cheering on Team USA to another win. And wrapping things up here in Commerce, a 14-9 win for Team USA, the first of 3 games right here on ESPNU. They take it tonight at the Brenda Villa Aquatics Center, a well-balanced effort on offense. And then we just talked with Ashley Johnson. She does the job in cage, 14 saves. One of the key pieces on offense is our clean athlete of the game, Stefania Harlabidis, looking to make her first Olympic team for the United States. She was strong on defense, the takeaway here, and then the lefty delivered 3 important goals. Team USA got started by Jordan Rainey, but then Harlabidis came up clutch late. And Natalie, we've talked about it a bit, but Harlabidis, another weapon here for Adam Krikorian on offense.
Right, one of many, but again, you have to be balanced on both sides of the ball in order to be successful at this level and on this team. And Stefania had a great game on both sides today.
Here's a look at some final numbers. The one thing Hungary can really point to, that 6-on-5, that's going to be a point of conversation for Team USA post-game.
Absolutely. Again, Coach Krikorian takes a lot of pride in how he plays defense, and the team's been playing against each other for the past couple months, and now getting a different look at a different style with some different shooters. It'll throw them off a little bit, but no doubt they'll be ready for the next one.
And one thing you always have to note in these international series, the team that traveled far, they got to shake off the jet lag. So Hungary could be improved tomorrow and moving forward in this series as they work their way back to peak form, a team that has already punched their ticket, like Team USA, to the Olympic Games. That's going to wrap it up for us here at the Brenda Villa Aquatics Center, where Team USA does the job 14-9. Don't forget, come back and join us tomorrow night in Irvine. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll have Team USA in Hungary. But that'll do it for us here tonight. For my partner, Natalie Benson, for our entire crew, producer Steve Elkin, director Jason Moon, Greg Meskel saying thanks so much for joining us. It's a win for Team USA over Hungary, 14-9. We'll see you tomorrow night in Irvine. Take care.